Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RocknRoll Beer Guy Podcast. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. That's right, folks, I got my first sponsor. Audible.com is a service from Amazon that lets you download audiobooks. If you're like me, you spend most of your life in the car driving around commuting from place to place, or perhaps you're a brewer and need something to listen to while making your beautiful, delicious concoctions. If you go to audibletrial.com/RRBG, you get to choose a free audiobook from their 180,000 book selection, including books like Brewing Up a Business from Sam Calgione from Dogfish Head, or Clapton, the autobiography of Eric Clapton, which is relevant once you hear this episode. Either way, it's a great service. You got nothing to lose. There's no obligations. You get a free 30-day trial. You get a free audiobook for signing up with audibletrial.com/RRBG. Get me paid, son. Anyway, please continue to share this with all your friends. I need all the help I can get to spread the word. As I've said before, I'm a Modern Times Beer employee, and all the opinions on this podcast are that of my own and my guests, and do not represent the brewery or any of its employees. We'll go deep into some crazy, crazy stories. It's a good time. I hope you enjoy it. Cheers.
Yeah, musicians and their timings. Zing.
Yeah, all turds, right? Musicians, terrible,
Awful people.
yeah, terrible humans with bad timing. Speaking of which, I have to take a shit now that we're starting this.
Me too. I'll just move the computer in there.
Just kidding, that was a timing joke.
I mean, if you gotta shit, you gotta shit, though.
Terrible time to take a shit.
It's a terrible time to be an American citizen.
It really is.
Let's not get into that conversation away.
I mean, I don't think we can lead with that.
Oh my God! All right.
Yeah, it's going in super dry right there.
Yeah. Let's leave that for like the 30-minute mark. We got them nice and wet, and ready to go.
Yeah, we'll lube them up.
Yeah, well, I mean, on my timeline, I live in I'm in February 2018, and Hillary Clinton's president, and it's a real nightmare.
It's a parallel reality.
I don't think it'll be her. What's worse is that we'll get Pence.
Oh,
that's what's going to happen.
I have too many friends in Indiana to think that's a good idea.
But you know what? He's probably a better public speaker than Trump. At least he's probably got. I don't think I've ever heard him talk, but I bet he is. Like,
do you think he's part of the GSC?
What's that?
The Golden Showers Club.
Well, I know I am, and I haven't seen him in any of the meetings.
Wait, how real is that whole thing, though?
It's supposed to be real. It's supposed. They have documents. I don't know.
I've seen sort of allegations of this whole like golden shower thing. I just didn't know how like official that was.
Yeah, I don't know either. I have a good friend of mine that I grew up with that works for the Associated Press, and he posted an article today about just how much trouble the media is having keeping up in real time with fact checking all of this stuff because it's just nonstop and happening so fast.
It's a crazy time to be alive, guys.
So
you can't even read the news anymore,
Oh yeah.
Know what the fuck is real,
None of it's real though. That's the thing, and I hope that we get to that point where people start to realize that, and then we can just move on.
Yeah,
right.
Fuck.
The news is real. Your money's not real.
Yeah, it's all bullshit, made up. We're just making things up.
Yeah, I only read Clickhole because I know that at least I know that it's not real.
And it's got a sexual innuendo name. Clickhole.
You have a sick mind, Eddie. I didn't even get that until right now. But
it sounds like a porn site. I'm sorry. I don't know. Like.
Maybe it was, and they just couldn't get it off the ground.
All right, I'm going to do this real quick. Hey, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of the RocknRoll Beer Guy Podcast. I have with me Sacha Dunable of the band Intronaut.
Sick.
Hi.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
And we got Sam Riggins in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Formerly of Nebraska Brewing Company.
Yeah. Brewery and planning.
You're
planning a brewery?
Yeah, no, I can't say the name because I'm still working on trademark stuff, which is a blast and not cheap.
That is also the worst, dude. And copywriting names and shit is such a pain in the ass because you have to think about all kinds of translation issues.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, it's bad.
Yeah.
I think you should just call brewery in planning or planned brewery, like Planned Parenthood, but planned.
I don't want to get defunded.
Planned intoxication.
We actually we did a beer festival last summer. And it's really hard to explain to people sometimes things at beer festivals. Sometimes they're not really listening to you.
Oh no, they're never listening to you.
Wait, what?
And yeah, hey, hello? Are you guys still on this thing? So we'd go do these things and people would be like, okay, so where's your brewery? And you're like, my garage. And so we did a couple festivals where we actually I got shirts printed up. It was my genius wife's idea. She said, we should just get t-shirts that say brewery and planning. And I said, yep. And so we wore those for a couple festivals, and I think it just actually raised more questions than it alleviated.
Yeah.
Wait. Did Sacha just break the news? Is it called Brewery and Planning?
No.
I wasn't the first one to come up with that.
But I have a couple really good friends that own breweries here that were like, you should just do it. Just do it.
Fucking yeah, dude. I would. That sounds awesome.
I mean,
you're always gonna move into a big space and have those big what are those big containers that make beer or whatever? Like you're gonna it's not gonna be just in your garage or what?
Yeah, no. I'll eventually have a real actual brewery. Hopefully this year. This year is the year.
But right now you're just doing this in the garage?
Yeah, after I left Nebraska Brewing, I've just been brewing a ton at home, and yeah, I mean, just trying to just create stuff nonstop pretty much.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm actually drinking your barley wine that you.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I have it cracked open right here. It says Merry Christmas.
Are you drinking it too? Yeah.
I'm about to drink it right now. I'm pouring my sofa glass now.
I'm also drinking this beer.
It's actually quite good. It's surprisingly smooth for a barley wine, or just easy to take. On my mouth.
I feel like for an 11% plus beer that this
holy shit,
turned out pretty drinkable.
Yeah, dude, that's very smooth for 11.1%.
Yeah, and it was.
Sorry to cut you off, but the IBU that's like a bitterness meter thing, right?
Right.
International bittering units.
Yep.
And it's not, I thought 80 would be insane, but it's really not that crazy.
Yeah, there's enough, when you brew with this much malt, there's enough sweetness that stays behind, that it sort of you can do bigger IBU beers that don't seem as hoppy. And kind of the same way, if you don't add enough bitterness to it, that sweetness kind of takes over.
Yeah, sure. It's quaintly sweet.
So, one of the things I always loved working at Nebraska Brewery was that, we really always went for those beers that had, less sweetness. We were looking for the yeast to do its job and not leave around big, sticky, sweet beers. Because at the end of the day, for me, beer is just, I kind of divide it up into drinking beers and nerd beers.
Right.
And, there's those beers that you just want to crush all the time. And then there's that nerdy stuff that, you want to go split with somebody, but you don't want to drink a whole bottle of.
Right. I think an experience kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And the way I kind of try to develop beers and do beers is to kind of always have an eye on that, everyday kind of thing, even if it is something that you're not, that's some big, huge thing and you don't want to drink all the time. I still want you to drink it.
So this is not a total nerd beer. This is more of just a crush beer.
Yeah, I think it kind of falls kind of in between for me.
Well, but you're also you're coming from you're a head brewer. Your palate and your senses are definitely not the same as the general populace. I would say. Oh. We may not be nerdy, but we're
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is nerd minus.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but this is good though. This is really drinkable, crushable only because we're alcoholics.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You'd crush it on a special occasion. But if you crush this every day, then you're a maniac for sure.
Yeah, and 400 pounds.
Right, you're super fat if you drink this every day. So can I ask you some noob questions about nerd beer real quick?
Yeah.
So the malt is what gives it sweetness then, and yeast is what makes more yeast equals more bitter. Is that right?
No.
Or is it more complicated than that? Am I not even?
Yeah. So
shut up.
Should I let the brewer say?
Should I put on my brewer hat?
Yeah. Go, Sam.
So basically, what you're getting from malt is two things. You're primarily getting what you're looking for the most is fermentable sugars. You're also though looking for malt for flavor. The roastiness. The sweetness, caramels, all that kind of stuff is going to come for your malt. And then you're basically adding hops in to add in. Number one is bitterness, and then number two is like aroma and flavor.
Yeah, there's different times in the brew that you add hops for different purposes.
And what I really like in brewing now is we're sort of like getting away from hops being just primarily a bittering agent and becoming more of like huge in flavor and aroma. Mm-hmm. But then the yeast is basically what's taking all those sugars that the malt provided you and turning that into primarily alcohol, but also CO2. And then there's also different what we call phenols that is a yeast byproduct.
Yeast farts.
Yeah, they're yeast farts. And depending on what kind of beer you're brewing and what kind of flavors you're after, you can use all kinds of different yeasts to further contribute into the flavor, which is another cool thing that's happened in brewing really in the last 5 or 10 years. Is people just going nuts with using all kinds of different yeast for different outcomes. Yeah. Cool. Okay. That's a short part of it.
Well, now I know sort of what beer is.
Yeah.
Aside from a crushed beverage.
No, it starts off almost like a tea, and then, you add the fermentation to it, which causes the carbonation and all that stuff.
I didn't realize that's what caused the carbonation. That's interesting.
Yeah, like that's why some people use Belgian yeast for certain things to create more carbonation to give you that like champagne-y type mouthfeel with the tiny, tiny bubbles.
Wow. I'm sorry if that was like super boring for you guys to talk or your listeners.
No. I'm going to have to add education as one of the subjects of this podcast now.
For sure.
So I wrote a bunch of stuff down. I have here penis size, length, and versus girth.
Yeah.
Should we get this thing on video and just see what everybody's dealing with?
I have a performance anxiety and
I'm more of a grower, not a shower.
Yeah, I have barley wine victim.
Yeah, I need to get at least halfway through this beer.
Yeah.
No. So Sam, overall, how long have you been brewing? I guess even home brewing should count, right?
Sure. Yeah, so I probably started home brewing, let's see, 10 and a half, 11 years ago.
Wow. It
was sort of one of those hobbies that I always knew I wanted to do, but between being broke and not having good space, I never did it because I knew when I started brewing, I wanted to do all grain brewing. I didn't want to start on the extract kits. I don't have any problem with other people doing that, but for me, it wasn't really where it was at. Mm. And then after about 3 years of off and on home brewing, I didn't get to brew as much as I wanted to just because I was working so much. But I started my only professional brewing job. I started at Nebraska Brewing Company about this time in 2010. And at that time, we were just a brew pub. And it was me and my friend Tyson Arp, who was the head brewer. Basically, just started there being kind of helper monkey. And as we got busier and as I spent more time there and learned more things, we just kind of continually grew and grew and grew. We eventually built a second production facility, specifically to start canning some of our core beers and ramping up the barrel age series. And when everyone else, we had hired a couple new guys to train up to go on that. And when everybody else moved to the new brewery, I really wanted to stay behind at the brew pub, and I became the head brewer there in 2013, something like that. Yeah, and then I ended up having to leave. My wife, her job just kept getting busier and busier, and between just the workload of being at a brewery by yourself, I was driving 50 plus miles every day to get to the brewery. I also was super active with the brewery to, go to beer festivals, do promotions, that kind of stuff. And between all those things, my wife kept getting busier and busier at work. And I had to cut it loose. I was intended to leave at some point and start my own brewery, but 2.5 years ago was not when I wanted to do it.
Gotcha.
So,
well, hey, at least you're on your way, like well on your way.
Yeah. So, for the last 2.5 years, I've really just been, brewing a shitload at home. I've slowed down a lot the last couple months, but I was brewing, 8-9 times a month. I've had the good fortune to go to a whole lot of friends' breweries, and go do collaboration beers with them. So that's really what I've been up to since I left NBC. Yeah, it's been weird. Like people just ask you to come to their breweries, and you're like, cool.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you gotta make a name for yourself as an independent brewer, as a person,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, yeah, I have my, my thing that I do, and obviously collaborating together, that shows interest.
Oh, for sure. And like just trying to stay relevant has been, something that I've had my eye on, because, you disappear for a while and people forget who you are. And, I've just been, it's fun to go brew beers with people. It's fun to see other people's systems. It's cool to see other people's processes. It's fun to help people sort stuff out if they don't know what they're doing and get them to make better beer. Because that's what we're all here for in the beer world, I hope,
Yeah.
But definitely, helping people out, helping them figure out processes, getting them hooked up with new suppliers, whatever it is. It's been really fun to go do all that stuff. So,
and it's needed. So I thank you for doing that to people.
So
yeah, dude. So Sash, how about you? When did you start playing guitar, man? I mean, I'm assuming since you were a child.
When did I start playing guitar? Yeah, I think I got a guitar when I was 10 years old, and I started there. Well, then I kept playing that guitar for another 25 years.
Intronaut wasn't your first band?
No.
Be a pretty good place to start.
Yeah.
What was my first band? Is that the question?
Yeah. Even I'm even talking about I consider when I was 17 that I was in some kind of a Deftones Metallica cover.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. My first band was I was 15 years old. I was in a punk band called The Dregs. And it was just really shitty punk rock made by a bunch of 15-year-old
kids. Isn't it all?
Yeah. So there you go. And then the rest is history.
I remember, I don't even know what year it was. The first time I saw you guys was in Gainesville. Leon was still in the band.
Oh.
And yeah, you guys, it was Torch, you guys, and ISIS.
Oh, yeah.
Up, dude.
I remember that.
It was a small little bar with fucking pool tables in the middle and shit.
Yeah.
I remember
that was the worst show of that whole tour.
I drove all the way up from Miami for that.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to see ISIS. Plus I knew the dudes from Torch from playing shows with them in Miami. And then,
right.
I had never heard of you guys. And I was like, oh, great. Fucking random opener.
I remember that was the only time I ever saw Aaron Turner get mad at the crowd and yell at somebody in the crowd.
Oh, dude, he was pissed.
I can't remember what they were I don't know what they were saying, but I just remember him being like, why don't you get the fuck out of here or something like that.
Well, yeah, no, the crowd was yelling for specific songs that they wanted to hear him play.
Right.
And he was like, if you don't like what we're playing, you can go the fuck home.
Yeah, it was so weird. To me, it just seemed out of I don't know. It felt like you're getting yelled at by I don't know.
Well, I talked to them after the show, and he was saying, how they were mad just because overall, the promotion of the show didn't go as planned. The venue had some issue. The promoter didn't do shit, and there was no promotion. He was kind of upset at the turnout.
Right.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
And I remember just being blown away by you guys, and then Torch played. I'm like, God damn it! Why isn't there more people here experiencing this right now? And,
yeah, that was probably the smallest show of that whole tour. That was I think that was almost exactly 10 years ago. That was 2007.
Probably. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my band and a couple friends, we just all drove up. We're fuck it, let's get wasted, go see ISIS and see our boys in Torch.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That was a fun one.
So you have any local breweries out there in where you're staying? Where do you live? Not exactly. Don't tell the world where you live. But.
I'm in LA. I'm in the San Fernando Valley. Yeah. I don't know what breweries are there out here. I know there's one in Sherman Oaks or something over here. Someone was telling me.
There's probably 70 of them right there.
Sure. Of course.
Yeah, there's a lot of small breweries, man, in California, way more than Florida. I'm blown away by the sheer number. It's insane.
Yeah. West Coast in general, right? I mean, isn't that just kind of on fire out here?
Yeah. It spreads all the way out to Colorado. I mean, Colorado is one of the biggest beer towns in the world.
Yeah.
That's where they have the GABF and all that shit.
Yeah, I feel like I don't really tour breweries as much in this area. I feel like that's something I do when I'm on tour, and when I'm at home, I don't really get out much. No,
you got your job, you got your guitars that you're doing. And,
yeah.
But how did that start out, man? What got you into hey, I'm going to make my own fucking guitars. Fuck these guys. I think it came from a few years of into the whole being a touring rock and roll dude,
and coming home and like not always having a job waiting for me when I got home. And I kind of just like realized that I needed to kind of just make my own kind of job or like my own kind of business where I could be self-employed and kind of have the flexibility to do Intronaut as well, you know? And so somewhere around like 2008, 2009, I just dove right in, just started going for it. Started like fixing guitars for friends and just learning more and more about it, and slowly but surely kind of just built up the shop and, you know, would do builds here and there. And then I think around like 2000 or 2012, I moved into the house where I'm at now, and converted the garage into a big old workshop, and just started building, developed a couple models, and then, you know, it just kind of took off organically, you know, the more I would tour and, you know, other bands would see them and people all around the world, you know, just talking to these people about guitars, and, you know, it kind of just word caught on, and yeah, and now I'm able to do it full time, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Local music. You have any local bands that you are listening to?
Again, I don't get out much these days. I really only know like my friends' bands, you know. So I'm not that in touch with the local music scene. But yeah, there's a bunch of good music here in LA. I'm sure there's a ton that I'm like not even aware of. You know, I'm a little bit out of touch with the whole scene there.
It's something that I think it comes naturally as we get older, because I mean, I was all about, you know, going out and hanging out and seeing local bands and stuff, but lately, the last several months, I haven't had time. I can't, you know.
Yeah, and I still like it. You know what I mean? Like Intronaut played a show last month with some local bands, and they were all fucking sick. You know, it was cool to get out and kind of just mix it up and, you know, have a night like that I haven't had in a while here. But there's this band, Wovoka, I think. I don't know how you pronounce it. Wovoka or something. They were really sick. Super heavy band.
It helps to be in a town where the local bands are you guys and, like, you know, Tool and, you know what I mean? Like, all those, like, there's, in Florida, you don't get that. The local bands are just the local punk bands and, like, the fucking cover band that are everywhere.
Right. There's a lot of good shit that came out of Florida, though. Like punk stuff.
Like Creed came out of Florida.
Hey man, Lincoln was Creed's first big market outside of Florida. It was amazing to be here.
I'm not surprised.
Marilyn Manson. There we go. That's Florida.
Was that Florida too?
Yeah. He played Churchill's back with the Spooky Kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Churchill's has like a good punk scene, right? Isn't there like a...
Yeah, it's just random nights. Like, I'll show up on a Wednesday and it's just packed to the gills with dudes in leather jackets and mohawks. I don't know. Nobody's doing anything that stands out, though. It's just a big, let's get together and fucking rage all night and then, you know, do it again in 2 weeks. Yeah. It's a weird step for a band to take to figure out, like, okay, well, what are we doing? Like, are we just going to stay playing local shows for the rest of our fucking lives, or like, are we trying to do something here? So, like, moves have to be made, and people have opinions and things vary because, you know, it has to be mutual. Like, it can't, like, some dudes would be like, hey, let's fucking tour 2 years in a row, you know, be broke as shit, live on the road. That's how you do it. And other people be like, nah, bro, I got my job.
Right. It's got to be tougher in, I guess, just about anywhere, you know, that's not like a huge fucking city like LA or something. I mean, I guess when you're around, like, I'm from here, but a lot of people move here to do things like music or whatever, like you're talking about. And
yeah, it's a much better starting point than whatever fucking town in Florida or any other city like fucking Conway, Arkansas or something.
Right. It's a little more unheard of to, like, kind of dedicate most of your life to something like fucking weird, obscure punk rock or heavy metal or whatever. Yeah,
for sure. Any bands that you're anticipating with new releases, both of you?
Oh, God.
Sam, go ahead.
New releases. I've stopped paying attention to what is coming out because we had, like, such a good year for, like, heavy music this year. I mean, it was fucking insane.
Yeah, 2016 was good.
Everything that came out was, like, awesome. You know, so I feel like I'm still playing catch up from 2016, and I'm not even paying attention to what's coming out. I saw the Perfect Circle tour announcements for April 7th in Vegas, so I figured that would mean we'd have a new Tool album before that. But I mean, I'm not holding my breath for that.
No. We're gonna get a Perfect Circle. We're gonna get an APC album before we get a Tool album. I'll tell you that.
I think you're right. Yeah, I don't even know I really don't even know what's coming out. out.
Yeah, I have to say I don't know either.
Yeah, the only thing I know I've seen on the PRP and stuff like random. Okay, they're cool. They're working on something new. But the only band that I'm thinking about is Mastodon.
Yeah,
I know they're wrapping up with their new album. So
well, Paul Bear is in March too. That'll be awesome, I'm sure. And what's the other one? Chemist, I know, is going back in the studio this spring.
Really, they just released that Hunted album, which is awesome.
That band is insane.
Yeah, I've been talking to Zach to get him on an episode for sure. Like that dude, he fits both of the things.
Yeah,
he's in a killer fucking band and a fucking killer brewery. Like
they're Dunable guitars or Dunable bass band. Their bass player plays Dunable.
Awesome.
Yeah. I saw it when they were setting up. I sent you a picture. I was like, dude, check it out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, killer band.
I know that Intronaut played with those guys somewhere in Colorado, and I had just heard Chemist, and I was like, man, maybe I should just like drive 10 hours and go to that show.
Colorado Springs, yeah. Honestly, it was like, I feel like if that show would have been in Denver, there probably would have been like, hundreds of people.
Oh,
there might have been 20 people in Colorado for that show.
That's always to come.
So, okay, since you're saying that, what's the furthest you've driven to go see a band, Sam?
Oh, I mean, our limit here is, we're really close. Well, not close, but we're equal distance from pretty much like Minneapolis, Chicago, Denver, and St. Louis too. So, really like Chicago and Denver are about 8 hours from here. So that's the furthest I've driven to go to shows. And with them both being like awesome markets for people to go to, everybody goes through and plays those markets. So, yeah, Chicago.
Lucky bastard.
Chicago and Denver. Yeah.
How about you, Sasha? Did you ever do a long distance trip to go see a band?
I actually, on Opeth's first tour of the United States, I followed them around for like 3 shows. And so I did San Diego, LA, and San Francisco. So I guess San Francisco would be the farthest I've driven to see a band.
That's a 5-hour drive. That's not bad.
Yeah, 400.
5 or 6.
Like that.
And, for us here too, we'd get a lot of Lawrence, Kansas, and Kansas City are both pretty good tour spots for people. And, I spent a lot of time driving to Kansas City and Lawrence for shows.
Yeah, I can't imagine Lincoln ever got much in the way. I mean, you probably get like less than half of all the tours. Like,
yeah, and it's really weird here because it's really hard to get people in. People don't promote shows super great sometimes here. And it's crazy to me because, being exactly halfway between Denver and Chicago, a lot of people just end up pulling days off here.
Yeah, or they do Kansas City instead or something like that on the way to wherever.
Yep. And, what happens a lot of times, we get a lot of the really cool shows we get are like when people will pull off a bigger tour and not do a day off, and they'll play a smaller show here. Like Torch plays in Omaha all the time. I know Rick has family up there, and so they'll just pull off and do a show with just them, and that's awesome. But it's just we're kind of feast and famine here. We either get a whole lot of shows for a while, or we get not a whole lot of shows for a while. And it's always just kind of up and down.
Omaha always like struck me as like kind of a cool music town there, right? Or at least they like kind of embraced.
Yeah, the local music scene there has always been good, and the local music scene here in Lincoln's always been really good too. But especially in Omaha, like in the late '90s, early 2000s, when like kind of Saddle Creek kind of started taking off.
Right? Isn't there some like indie rock scene there? Some like who's from Omaha?
Yeah. Well, the 2 bigger bands from Omaha from that time would have been like The Faint and Connor Oberst.
Bright Eyes is what I'm thinking.
Bright Eyes, yeah. And there were a handful of other bands like Cursive.
Cursive's great, yeah.
Yeah, Cursive's a good band.
I'm trying to think of who else from like that time. But Saddle Creek was really cool about like funneling money back into Omaha and like putting money towards a venue and like putting money towards a production company. And like trying to get, putting money towards a studio. And really just like trying to like build on what the success that they have had, and that, it still resonates today. Like there's a couple venues in Omaha that are great, like Slow Down and Waiting Room. that are really absolutely direct from that, and wouldn't exist without the success that those guys had. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And but before that, I mean, like, I don't know, 311 was from Omaha and got huge.
Right.
But you know, the time they did it, like, you know, those dudes got so much shit for moving out to LA. But, you know, in like 1991, 92, when they did it, it was like, you know, you couldn't stay in Omaha and make a career out of it. Like you said earlier, you know, so many people move out to LA for music. Well, that's where it was at. And you didn't have the internet.
Then that was really when you had to move to LA because there was no internet or anything. Yeah.
You had to go there to go to an awesome studio. You had to go there to make the connections, to get a tour manager, to get all that stuff.
Yeah, for anybody to see you, yeah.
So, you know, it was really cool to see, like, when those guys from all the Saddle Creek scene kind of started blowing up and making money, that they live in Omaha still. And they, you know, they're people that you see out and about, and that was super cool. Yeah.
Nice. Shit, man. You guys are lucky, though, because, see, coming from Florida, Miami had nothing. We barely had venues for people to play at. So,
right.
You know, I always had to fucking drive very long distances, and I had to make budget decisions. Like, all right, well, like, Mastodon's playing Crack the Sky in its entirety, and I'm not going to see that. So how about we get a bunch of people together and we all drive to Asheville.
How?
We'll hang out with our boys out there.
From Miami?
You know, we have friends.
Oh, God.
From Miami,
Dude.
yeah. Well, we had friends that were living there, so we were like, dude, we'll just show up. And literally we did that. We didn't even call them. Just knock on their door. Sup? We're here from Miami. Open up. And just crash with them. And, you know, they were in bands. So, like, the second we walk in the door, they're already at band practice and just raging, drinking moonshine and eating mushrooms. They're like, oh, let's go see Mastodon play Crack the Sky. Woo!
Well, it's funny, too. Like, here too, you know, we'll get a lot of people, like, sort of when they're, you know, first start touring, you know, they'll stop through here. And then all of us, I mean, Mastodon's a big example for me. Like, those dudes played here a handful of times. Like right when Remission came out, and it was like, you go to the show and like your friend's band's opening for them, and it's like the sickest shit you've ever seen in your life. Like you knew that it was what they were doing and what that record was like important when you saw it.
Yeah, for sure.
You knew it was going to push a whole lot of things forward and kind of change what was happening. And then, like, all of a sudden, it's like, you know, you get to, like, Crack the Sky, and it's like, no, we're not playing Nebraska anymore later. And you're like, oh, God.
I like how you said that in Brent's voice, by the way.
The other thing that sucks being here, too, is, like, when you see all these guys coming through on tour, and you're like, fuck yeah, they're playing Chicago. They're playing Dent. Oh, yeah, they're just driving through. And it's seriously like every awesome tour, just like, you know, they're just driving by like, you know, 2 miles from your house. And you just kind of want to go and put up a flag and wave and say, you know, next time.
You know, it's tough when you're on their level and you have like a crew, and all this, you know, it's expensive.
It's so
every
expensive.
day you're on tour. It probably costs more money than what they could sell in tickets in a place like Lincoln, you know?
Yeah. And it's rough because, you know that they've got those minimums they've got to meet, and you know what, you know, and it's like, I know why, but like, you know, some other idiot doesn't know why. And then they get all mad and you're like, dude, you know, these guys have like kids and houses and employees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, because like, you know, like
your friend's only going to help you carry your gear for so long before he wants to get paid.
Yeah, right. This band stinks, right?
Sacha, what was your first concert ever, if you can go that far back?
Yeah, I think it was the Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge tour.
Holy shit.
With Seal opening.
Seal?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was in like 7th grade. I don't know. This was probably like 93 or something.
Was this post or pre Kiss from a Rose?
I think it was pre. I think like Crazy was. You know, I think like the first single was all that was out.
So no, he hadn't exploded on the scene.
He didn't open for anybody after Kiss for a Rose.
No, exactly right.
Fuck no.
Oh my god, my old band always wanted to cover that. I'm like, dude, no. I love that song too much to cover it. Okay?
What was the movie that it was from? Was it Batman?
Batman. Yeah, it was Batman. I think it was Returns. Yeah. How about you, Sam? What was your first concert?
So the first concert I remember, well, I mean, my mom was a music teacher. So, growing up, we did music stuff all the time. The first like rock and roll concert I remember going to was at the Nebraska State Fair. And this was probably in like 1983 or 4, and it was the Beach Boys.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
And I remember I was young enough. I knew the songs and stuff, but I don't really remember the concert too much, except for they set it up in the round. But the first concert that I went to that I wanted to go to was I was in 8th grade, and it was Van Halen on the OU 812 tour. I still feel like cheated that I had to see Van Hagar, and I've never been able to see the real Van Halen, but I'm not too upset about it. It was rad.
He must have still ripped it hard though on that tour.
Yeah, it was crazy. Cause I mean, like I was in 8th grade and I went with one of my best friends and his older brother and his older brother's girlfriend, and their dad drove us up. And it was like an 1.5-hour drive, and it was on a school night. And my mom let us go. And I remember his brother was 3 years older than us. So I think he would have been like a sophomore or junior in high school. And he wouldn't take his sunglasses off the whole time. Like we were driving home in the dark, and he still had his sunglasses on. It was the best. It was insane. I still have my T-shirt and my tour book from that.
That's awesome.
Like a tour program, you mean?
Yeah, they have it's like all the photos, and it's like it's this huge oversized paperback thing that I probably spent. Well, I don't know. Today it'd probably be $80 or $90. I probably spent $30 on it.
I think it's a good merch item. My mom my mom loves the Stones, and she caught every tour, and she would always buy those things. I used to love flipping through those things. It's a super cool idea. I wish somebody would bring it back, honestly.
Oh, for sure.
If only we knew somebody with a band.
Yeah, right.
Well, you need a band that people like, that they'll buy them.
I like your band.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's one tour program. You probably wouldn't buy the tour program.
I just probably bug Danny and make him give it to me for free, so you
wouldn't.
Hey,
dude, hook me up with a tour program.
But we
the guest list.
We just right. You can either get on the guest list or buy a tour book.
Can I get the band to sign the whole tour book though?
$5 a piece. We just moved a year ago into our house, and I remember I still have like all my shows that I like actually got tickets for. I still have all of them.
Oh my god, I wish.
And what I wish I had though was like all those shows that I spent like $5 to get into. Just got a stamp on the wrist. I was looking through all my tickets, and I remember seeing that Van Halen ticket. And it was, huge arena show with, 8 million semi-trailers and all that shit. And the tickets were $16.50.
So,
geez.
And the tickets are even like glitter printed.
Wow. And
I remember my mom being so upset about like how much it cost to go to that show.
$16, that's unheard of.
Flash forward to 2016, she called me all excited that she got Billy Joel tickets here, and I was just like, I don't even want to know how much you spent on that.
$500 easy.
But I was just like, I know it's way more than that $17 that you gave me to go to Van Halen.
Yeah, but that's $17. I mean, that's like back when your neighbor would give you like a shiny quarter to fucking mow their lawn or whatever. Right?
Yeah, the front and the backyard.
Yeah.
It's crazy what shows cost these days. Like big shows, like even Tool. Like Tool shows are $100.
That's a show that's worth $100 though.
It is worth it. The fucking production value is insane. But like, okay, so all right, I'm gonna tell you a little story. So I used to do stage production for this company in Miami, and we would set up these giant fucking arena shows at the big arenas in Florida, like Lenny Kravitz and Eric Clapton and whatever. So I'm setting up the Eric Clapton show. He was going to play with Cream, actually, was doing like a reunion tour or something. I don't remember. But we were setting it up. I'm like pulling, cables and shit. And this dude walks up to me. He's like, "Hey man, I need to buy some trees." And I look at him and I'm like, "Okay, who are you?" And he's like, "Well, I'm with the tour. I'm with Eric Clapton's bus or whatever." I'm like, "Okay, is this weed for Eric Clapton?"
Did he say trees? And you knew it that way? Wow.
Yeah. He said tree. Well, in Florida they say trees. I don't know.
Okay. No. Okay.
It's but anyway. So I was like, "Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm not a drug dealer, even though." Thanks for stereotyping.
Yeah, right.
Well, you look at a venue, and look, I hate to just sort of. Yeah, the cops are after me, but
it's not me. That wasn't my neighborhood.
Yeah,
That was perfect timing, by the way.
it's well known throughout the community that you can just walk into a venue and ask a venue employee for drugs, and usually
Pretty much, yeah. I was just being funny. I wasn't really offended, but because it turns out I wasn't selling drugs directly, but I know somebody. So
yeah, it's rock and roll. Everybody knows somebody. You know?
Yeah, I was like, dude, I got a guy. I'll hook you up. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so I through knowing people, not gonna name any names, found a guy, an ounce of weed. Listen, I want on the tour bus. He was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I want to meet Eric Clapton. He's like, okay, whatever. So he took me into the bus. Eric Clapton's sitting in the fucking bus. He looks at it, smells it, looks at me. He's like, okay. And gives me an envelope. Well, I'm like, oh, it was great meeting you. Big fan, whatever. Go outside to check the envelope, and there's 4 fucking front row seats.
Yeah,
tickets.
Wow.
I'm already working the show, though. I got show calls, so I'm on stage. So I stood outside and sold the 4 front row seat tickets.
Way more than $400.
Way more than $400. Okay. And I took the whole crew out to Hooters. I'm like, yo, guys, let's go in between, before the show started, let's go eat. I'll buy beers. Everything's on me. So that was my way of validating my weird transaction.
I think you need to change the name of your podcast to Don't Move to Miami Podcast.
Yes, dude. I mean, that's...
Because between, like, what you said before and, like, we went out to Hooters after the show, I...
Right.
It was the closest bar, man. All right? We were in an arena. Like, hey, I'll get them food and beer. And most of these guys, most of these stagehands are not craft beer nerds.
Right.
You saw an Eric Clapton show, and then you went to Hooters after. So basically, you experienced what it's like to be a fucking dad or something. You were like,
yeah, from Arkansas.
Oh shit!
No, it was great though, man. The show was awesome. Whatever. But that wasn't my first concert. My first concert that I can think of is Huey Lewis and the News in Vegas.
Damn, that's sick.
Yeah, dude. They did like 3 songs a cappella, and it was insane.
What? Wow.
Yeah. It was fucking bananas. I don't even know how young I was. I was like 10. I don't know, 10 or 11. But I clearly remember that night, because my dad made me dress up in a suit and everything.
So this is like in the 80s then, when Huey was on fire?
Yeah, 89, I think.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I worked with this guy a long time ago, and he had like been a record store manager in through the 80s. There's a lot of bands that like get hooked up with like colleges and stuff and go play the student union or whatever. Huey Lewis and the News was coming to play Hastings College in Hastings, Nebraska. And I mean, Hastings is like, I don't know, 8,000, 10,000 people town. And when they came to town, and this was before sports blew up, like right before sports blew up, but they ended up getting there early, and they came down and set up in his little tiny ass record store and just like played a full set. Just
hell yeah.
Nice.
Fucking, it was like,
nice.
Yeah. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, they just moved all their shit in and just played. And it was just like, what? Like, that's like the most awesome in-store ever. Like,
hell yeah.
It's crazy, man. I was like, wow, you are cool. But you're still a shitty man. You're a shitty manager, but you're still okay.
Let me ask you something, Sacha. You've had really great success with the band and like opening up for bands like Tool and shit like that. Big deals. So I wanted to ask you, do you still get starstruck by anyone? Like, is there someone that if you were to meet, you would probably freeze up?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anybody who is like somebody that I looked up to or like really like their music, I kind of just get weird around, So, I mean, it's definitely happened. Like, I don't really have any cool stories about it, but I was definitely not a cool person when I met Lars from Metallica.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how I would react to that.
I mean, it's like, why am I even, and this last year, Intronaut played a show in Vancouver with this band Dead Cross, which has Dave Lombardo from Slayer.
Nice.
And like the whole day, I'm like, it's like you can't just go up to these. Like, why would you just go up to them and be like, hey, like I really like your music and stuff, and you're like like they know that you like what they do. It's fucking Dave Lombardo. Like people tell him that fucking how many times a day. So I'm like, does Dave Lombardo just be cool? Like, don't say anything to him. And then at the end of the night, I'm like drunk as shit, and I see him in the hallway, And I'm just like, I just went for it. I was just like, dude, you're just like so sick. And like, just told him some like Slayer story or something like that. And he was just so not feeling it. And he just bounced like as soon as he could. It's just terrible. I feel like, I'm just not good with those kind of situations.
Well, I don't think anybody is really. I mean, unless you are in that position already, you know what I mean? Some people are born into it, child actors and whatever, and people that have, they're born into the family that's already been in Hollywood for whatever, or for music for whatever. So unless you're in that category, you're obviously going to have that.
Yeah, those people are trained to like not be punishers. I'm just the worst fucking punisher ever to these people.
Yeah, dude. I'm sure I've been a punisher to too many, and I try not to. The working with the stage production thing really helped out. Just having these big shows, and it's having lunch with Dave Navarro or whatever. Not that I was a huge fan of the guy, but I was like, okay, well, that's Dave Navarro. He's on TV all the fucking time. He's shoving shitty cafeteria food in his mouth right now. So,
with all tattoos.
Yeah, I kind of got numb to it after a while, but there's still some people that I'll freeze up on, it's kind of like, hey, awkward sounds.
Right. Well, like you with Dave Navarro, that's probably an easy one because you maybe weren't necessarily like a huge fan of what he does.
I wasn't a fan. I mean, I knew he was in the Chili Peppers at the time. And he had just done that. It was that weird forced supergroup reality show thing that they did. The Rockstar Supernova, I think it was called.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. I sort of remember that. Yeah, right.
It was that tour. They were touring the guy that won the show.
Oh.
I mean, it was interesting. He didn't say a word. I met Tommy Lee. He was the drummer in that band, and he was cool as fuck, passing around a bottle of Jaeger. We're middle of the show. I'm there like guarding my job. I was getting paid to stand by these giant fucking cannons that were shooting out confetti at a specific time.
Nice.
So he fucking like middle of a song gets up and starts yelling at someone. Someone runs out, gives him a bottle of Jaeger. He takes a shot and then looks at me and points the bottle at me. And I'm like, okay. Fucking run over, grab the bottle, chug it, pass it on to someone else. And we just drank, fucking killed it. I probably have hepatitis, though.
Oh, shit. Hepatitis G.
Yeah, hepatitis A through Z.
Yeah, right?
You got them all.
The CDC didn't even know they were all existed yet.
You know what's weird? I think that the people that I've kind of frozen up on were like really like Ric Flair. When I met Ric Flair, and I'm sorry, but I'm a huge like wrestling fan from when I was a kid. I froze up. It's kind of like, whoa, you're like the man.
Right. If all you're thinking about is like how stoked you are on everything they've ever done, and you already know all this shit about them,
Yeah, he's just looking for pussy and alcohol.
Yeah, and all you're thinking is, remember that time you did this? Remember that time you did that? Remember that thing? Remember that other?
Dude, exactly. That's what's going through my head every time I have one of these fucking interactions.
He was the first that I walked up at a convention. He did a Q&A in front of like thousands of people. And I actually stood in line to ask him a question in front of all these fucking people. That was the only person I've ever done that for. Like, I've been to a ton of these conventions, and I don't care about that. I just kind of sit and watch and enjoy. But, like, this guy, I was like, I need to talk to him some more. This is not enough. And I fucking went up there. I'm like, what's your favorite match that you were involved in? And what's your favorite match that you weren't involved? And he went on some fucking, it was cool though, he went on like a 15-minute tangent about wrestling Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker or some shit, and I was like, cool. I didn't hear a word you said because I was just tripping out that I'm standing here, so I'm gonna go sit down and then watch a recording.
Smile and nod.
At least that's a good question though,
Yeah, I tried to make it interesting, not like, can we take a selfie? Right. People were doing that shit, dude.
Well, that's like one of the cool things with beer, though, too, is like you just show up and have beers, and like the doors will swing wide.
Oh, dude, I'm so fortunate. I am a fortunate person. Being in this industry has been very rewarding for me in terms of being able to, hang out with certain people, make this podcast happen.
Yeah.
I mean, just shit like this. And I'm super grateful, man. And I hook people up as much as I can. Like, people hit me up all the time. Like, how do you know that guy? It's like,
right?
I don't know. I met him. I'm lucky that I met him, dude. That's it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you're expecting. Like, yeah. Oh, it's because I'm so good at music and beer. That's why. I'm like the best. No, I don't fucking know, dude. Is there someone that, Sam, that you would freak out at this point in your life?
I don't know, man. That whole thing's kind of weird to me because it's like, you have these people that you look up to, and what's cool is like the more of those kind of people you meet, like the more you just realize that they're just like, they're regular people too,
Yeah.
And it's like, for me, normally if I'm in a situation where something like that's happening, it's either A, drinking with another brewer that I'm like, have a little crush on, or if I'm going to shows and it's not somebody I already know, I just take beers and, it's just all high fives and hugs from the get go. So it's like, you miss some of that awkwardness.
Hell yeah.
So I don't know. I would still probably lose my mind if I like met Metallica, but I'd probably have some choice words for him too. But yeah, it's cool to me with brewing now and where things are with like this whole like kind of everybody's sort of figuring out the whole like beer and music thing, because like to me it's weird because it's always been a thing, like beer and music have always been, you can't tell me that any of these venues would be open without selling beers. And
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That like everybody's kind of finally figuring out, especially in like heavy and underground circles, like everybody's figuring out that we all know each other, and it's really fucking cool. Cause it's like, you can just go in some brewery, talk to somebody and, 10 minutes into a conversation, you figure out that you have like, 15 good friends. And it's like that with music too, it's like, hey man.
Sure. That whole I'm sure the beer scene is the same as fucking the music scene for sure.
There's so many similarities. Like you were just explaining about your whole brewery concept. Like, you couldn't afford to fucking have the equipment or the space. You started very small and you struggled and you worked on it, and that's the same concept as the band, dude. You fucking start from shit, playing in your garage, get in a car, go into debt, fucking run the road,
right.
and you're collaborating with other brewers and stuff.
Yeah. Play shows with other bands. Those bands blow up before you, and then they're like, "Hey, come play with us."
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but where beer and music at together is just super cool to me right now too. I mean, everybody doing collaboration beers with bands, because like I've been thinking about this for forever, and like to see it like actually happening, it's just like, man, I wish I could have been making those decisions 5 years ago.
But hey, man, don't be so disappointed. I mean, I would still consider it in its infancy. Really, It's certainly taking off. I mean, bands like Deftones and Iron Maiden. And,
yeah.
Everybody's got their, but it's still an interesting thing. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. Well, and I think too, like, being able to like, tie it in a real way, like I don't want to just go and do some beer with a band because they're in a band and doing
to make you money.
Yeah. Like it's got to be like something I'm into, or, people I already know. And, that shit's it's super cool.
Yeah, dude, you're like Three Floyds. I know all those dudes are metalheads, and they're fucking stoked to be doing beers with these bands that they love. And I'm sure the bands are fucking stoked as shit to have their own beer and from a brewery that they love.
Wait, which one is Three Floyds? Is that the one in LA?
They're in
Munster, Indiana.
They're
the ones that do that metal fest, right?
Dark Lord Day. They have a bunch of bands play. The beer Dark Lord is a stout that they do. They also do Zombie Dust, which is their other super popular one, and Gumball Head. Yeah. They were on episode. Well, Dave and Chris were on from episode 2, and that was an interesting conversation, man. Those dudes, some of the sickest dudes.
That's what I love too, is like how much how interconnected Whitty is with all of that shit,
Dude, Whitty is my lifeline.
He's a fucking expert. He's got where are you guys at on Untapped? Do you guys have Untapped, the app?
Yeah.
I remember our merch guy was pretty hardcore on Untapped. He had a lot, what seemed like a lot to me, and he was talking to Whitty. the other month or whatever when we're on tour. He's like, Billy's like, yeah, I'm at like 1,200 or something like that on tap. Like, what are you at? And Woody's just like 6,000 or some shit. Just some amazing. He's probably like the number one. He's tasted every beer that exists.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Doesn't he work at a brewery or something? Or a brew pub?
He works with The Answer, which is a brew pub in Richmond. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I saw Intronaut in Richmond. We also drove up to meet with those guys and Whitty, and we stayed with Whitty and that brew pub. If you're ever in Richmond, you got to go to The Answer or Mekong's.
Go to Mekong's, dude.
Oh my God, bro. Mekong is the nicest man alive.
Mm-hmm.
And just feeds you troughs of food and cracks open crazy beers. He makes his own concoctions in the back with like the andals, which is like a dogfish thing, like the randals, where you just shove different things like cereal and coffee in this tube, and then you run beer through it and it picks up those flavors. He does some crazy shit out there. Like he's making beer cocktails basically. It's super awesome, dude. The guys are great. And then they have their brewery is pumping out some of the best IPAs on the East Coast right now. Like it's really cool, man. And actually Brandon's in town. Their head brewer's here in LA. He was at Monkish earlier.
Oh, my buddy's brewing there on Friday.
Dude, Monkish is killing it. Yeah, local brewery. They're like 10 minutes from me, and they have these huge lines every time they do a can release. They do them in the middle of the day, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday. I'm going to release this new can release while everyone's still at work. It's crazy, and they still have a fucking huge line. People leave work.
Yeah.
Go get that fucking beer.
Yeah, my buddy Matt's brewing there with McKellar, the McKellar guys on Friday. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. So you brought up McKellar. Whitty, I texted him. I'm like, dude, 2017 resolution. I want Rick Astley on the fucking podcast. Well, I want him on the podcast. I want to talk to that guy because he's brewing a beer with McKellar.
I know they're going to be with Rick on Friday, so I will pass that on.
Please, I spoke to his manager. So Whitty put me in contact with Mixon, which is the social coordinator Mixon, and then he put me in touch with Rick's management team, and we talked shot numbers back and forth. She wanted to know what my listener. I'm like, dude, this is my 3rd episode. This one right now is the 4th episode.
Yeah, I'll talk to those guys.
I'm hoping I'm gonna keep doing them until I see that the fucking listeners drop dramatically. You know what I mean?
You know what you should do if you get him on the podcast? You just every time you'll ask him a question. Every time he's about to answer, you just play that fucking song.
Just right.
How he can talk.
No answers to any questions on the podcast,
and just see how long until he just hangs up.
Well, pretty much, it's like, dude, you should if he says no, you should just do it anyway. Release it as if you did it, and then play the song for an hour and a half.
What's his deal? Is he like? I don't understand. I mean,
he's a beer geek. Apparently, he really likes beer. I mean, they did a video for a channel, like a legit, like Lifetime or something. Did a documentary on him going to McKellar to make this beer.
That's yeah. Wow. I wonder what I guess we don't know what he's been doing for 30 years. So.
He's still been doing music. He's got like jazzy, like gospel-ish type music.
Huh.
I heard a song. Like I looked it up and I heard a song about praying, which whatever. Each his own. Yeah, that's not my belief, but that's your thing. But it's good music, dude. He's got like legit studio musicians up there fucking slapping the bass and shit, like super funky jazz. And
he's got a fucking voice on him. I'll give him that.
Hell yeah, man! That dude looked like he was 12 during that song.
Still
sounded like a 46-year-old black man.
Yeah, sounded like.
Never gonna go. Yeah. I'm like, what? You're like 90 pounds, soaking wet, white, and 12 years old. What? Where's that coming?
Yeah. Like a 6th grader from fucking Ireland.
Oh, but it's so fucking sick and baller. Look at that dude. You kidding me? You know how much pussy that? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm gonna edit this out. Just in case.
The answer to that question is no. We have no idea how much pussy he got because it's just more than we could ever imagine.
The numbers, the numbers that I can count up to, it stops way before his.
Yeah, it's way above 9.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit.
9 digits, maybe.
This is getting awesome.
Okay, do you remember your first sip of alcohol?
I don't.
How about you, Sash? Do you?
Mine was about 45 minutes ago when I cracked open this beer. No, I actually do remember my first sip of alcohol. That's funny that you asked. Or the first one that I remember, at least, was I was a very small child. I was a small, young human being. And I was at the Del Mar racetrack with my dad in San Diego, which is like a horse racing track or whatever. And I just picked up a beer because I thought it was like juice or something. And I remember just not being into it at all. But in my defense, it was probably like Budweiser or something, you know. So I haven't changed much in that I hate fucking Budweiser.
I remember being very small and drinking Heinekens. My dad, he's an interesting character, which will be the basis of like an entire hour special on Netflix that I'm working on, by the way. But on top of that, like, the dude's insane. But I was like 7. I was bringing him beers from the kitchen to his underground den where he had random strangers come in, smoke cigars, and play dominoes for money.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
So I would come out and bring them all Heinekens, and he would, like, try it. I'm like, oh, okay, and fucking took a sip, and it was gross, but I wanted more. And then before I knew it, I'm smoking cigars and drinking a bottle of Heineken at like 7 or whatever. But,
Oh, shit.
but I legit remember when I became an alcoholic. Like I was like 11 years old or 12. I went skiing with my mom. They took us up north. We were living in New Jersey at the time, so we went up north. I don't even know where the fuck it was, but we went skiing. And after the day of skiing or whatever, we're in the hotel room, and she was with a boyfriend because my parents had just split, and the boyfriend had brought a bottle of this thing called Martini and Rossi. I'll never forget that fucking name.
Oh my God.
Martini and Rossi.
Why does that sound familiar? Yeah.
You're just drinking vermouth?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, it's just fucking sweet wine, basically. Vermouth. And they're chugging that shit and partying in the hotel room, and I'm on the bed just like playing with a thing, like a game. I just remember looking over, they were distracted, and I grabbed the bottle and I poured some into a can of Coca-Cola. And I and then I chugged that, and I kept doing that all night. And I just remember waking up and vomiting incessantly all night.
Yeah.
Just as a little kid, like, ah! My mom's like, oh my God, what happened? He's sick. I'm like, I'm not sick, I'm drunk. What's wrong with you? So, from that moment on, I kept every chance I got. My parents had split, so I'd spend some weekends with my dad, some weekends with my mom. And when I would go to my dad's house, he had a full fucking bar, and I would go in there and like crack open the Crown Royal, pour out like a quarter of it, put some water in it, and close it back up, put it back at the bar.
Just boozing so hard.
Straight boozing on the internet. The internet had just come out. It was this crazy, like, chat rooms. So I'm fucking drinking booze and chat rooming it up at 12 or 13. I don't even know exactly the age.
Asking for titty pics, like just...
Oh my God. Pamela Anderson. That was right when she had just done the Playboy.
Yeah, Jenny McCarthy.
You get that bush, that golden bush.
You're just all drunk, macking on like lonely AOL chat rooms. That's awesome.
Or 37-year-old men pretending to be young women,
Just typing age, sex, location, just like
ASL, bro.
Once every 60 seconds, you just have it on like.
Oh my God.
Can I just comment on your dad having his 7-year-old son serve Heinekens to the card game or whatever the fuck that was? That
Dominoes, bro.
Domino game. That's pretty hood, actually. That's some hood shit.
Dude, we're hood as fuck.
That is like a super, like, I feel like that's the same kind of dad move. That would come from the same kind of dad that would go to Clapton concert, and then go to Hooters afterwards. And then he goes home, and he's like,
I can't wait to have kids, bro.
Round of fucking Heinekens for the boys, and they're playing dominoes in the garage.
And then ask you to hide a gun.
Yeah. Listen, when the policemen come, yo, dude, look, fuck it, I'm gonna go deep.
Eddie, I'm sorry to expose your fucking crooked ass.
No, it's fine. I don't give a shit. It's my dad. It's not my crooked life. It's his crooked life. I think I'm a better person knowing that I, lived through that, and I'm not in jail right now. You know what I mean?
Harboring
Cuban immigrants. Don't sell yourself short.
Oh, don't sell yourself short yet. No, dude, like the guy when I was 14, we were still doing this, parent separation. weekend here, weekend there thing, and he got fucking arrested in front of me. And not like, oh, he's doing something bad, the cops showed up and arrested him. No, more like dudes in suits who've been looking for him for years finally caught him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can we talk about, like, the cause of all that, or is that...
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? He did 8 years out of 15 that he was sentenced to for money laundering and illegal sale of prescription medication without a license.
So that's like some white-collar shit, at least. He wasn't, like...
Yeah, no, he went to a hotel. He didn't go to no fucking butt rape prison.
Good thing he wasn't selling weed.
Right. He got caught by the feds, so he got the hotel with TV. He worked out. He fucking got an education.
Yeah, I respect
it. The dude came out a better person. I'm not lying.
He was trying to earn his money, you know?
Yeah. That's the first time I would say, like, okay, the prison system worked. He went in there, came out, and became a better person out of it.
And, like, money laundering, I mean, really, it's a victimless crime. Like, what? I mean, who are you ripping off? Like, fucking...
Well, here's the thing, though. That's only what they charged him with.
Okay.
That's not what he was doing. So let's just put it to you this way. Once he got out of jail, after the 8 years he did, he moved to Florida to be with me. He was like, oh, let's move in together. I was like, cool. We moved in together. In 2 years, the dude had to flee the country and move to fucking Mexico.
Really?
Yeah. So he lives in Mexico now. And he can't come back because he's Cuban felon, which gives him that deportee status. So if he comes to the country, they send him to Cuba. And if he goes to Cuba, you know, now might be a good time because, you know, Cuba's open, Fidel Castro's dead. You know, who knows? It's going to become a tourist spot. There's jobs.
Well, whatever. Rent's cheap in Mexico. He's probably, I'm sure he's doing great.
No, dude, that guy is living the fucking dream.
Is he just big pimping down there?
Oh, my God. Okay, he's 55. He looks better than I've ever looked in my entire life. Okay? He is fucking shredded, dating a young girl. I think she's in her 30s, if not like 30, 29. I don't know. When I met her a while back, she was very young.
Doing it right. That is called doing it right. That's what.
Yeah. And I thought, I'm like, oh, that she's a young girl. She's attractive. She's probably interested in his money. No, dude had no money. So he just fled the country. He's been he's in a shitty situation, and she's been by his side this whole fucking time. It's been like 8-10 years now.
He's just got game.
Yeah.
Good for him. I applaud that. I'm really into that.
She has an Instagram account with his name. Like, they have a shared Instagram account.
Oh, shit.
And she's always posting, like, them at the beach, eating lobster. I'm like, dude, the dude's got it made.
Oh, when you stop recording, I'm going to want that name so I can look at that feed.
Can you please send that to us after we're done?
Because your dad is my fucking role model.
He's told me multiple times, dude, you get your ass over here. Trump's running the country. Get over here.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing?
Good.
Yeah, right.
Get over here, fucking teach kids how to speak English. That's all you got to do. You make a living out here.
Can I also tell watching Dad get arrested story? It's related because we were drunk, and also it happened in Mexico, so it's related to a lot of things.
Please do.
When I was 18, my dad got married in Ensenada, and so on the night before the wedding, we all went out for like the bachelor party. Just tanked, all of us, like my cousins and my uncles and my dad. We're walking back to the car to drive back to the resort we were staying at or whatever. And my dad just like stops and he's like, I gotta pee. We're in fucking like Ensenada, it's dark, and he just turns and he just like is peeing on a wall or whatever on a dark street. And then we're all standing there like waiting for him, and we look up and we see the sign and see that it's a police station that he's fucking peeing on.
No.
The night before his wedding, mind you. So, and I watched 2 Mexican police officers walk out of the front door of the police station and kind of look at what my dad was doing. I mean, he's like 3 feet from the door of the police station. And like, they just sort of look at him, look at each other, look back at him, walk over, and each one grabbed one of his arms. I think he was still peeing, and they just dragged him into the police station. And he ended up getting released. I mean, it took like 20 minutes, and they released it. He worked for like the city of San Diego, and I think once he sort of like communicated with them a little bit as man to man or whatever, they let him go.
I will say that that's a thing that happens, but I'll also say that in Mexico and South America in general, Nicaragua and Peru, the cops, you are easily bought like $20.
Sure, yeah. I mean, this didn't take money. I was like assuming that we would just have to like give these cops money or whatever, but he was just like, he sort of explained his situation, and I guess they felt bad for him. They're like, please.
Did he charm his way out of there?
Yeah, I think he was just so pathetic. They're like, please stop. Like, you're depressing me right now.
No, go with the charm. Go with the charm.
So I was almost arrested in Mexico when I was 17 because we were down there on a school trip, and one of the guys we were with started like stuffing shirts and pants and stuff and everybody's shit. One of the dudes that we were with got caught, and they ended up calling our hotel room, and we were all like 16, 17. I went down to this like mall. I don't know. They had like this kind of like outlet mall kind of thing. They had like a Levi's store and all this other bullshit. And so they were like, yeah, you owe us all this money. We were all like, wait, what?
Yeah.
They were like, we've got your friend. So I was like, well, I probably want to talk to him if you've got him. So we went up on this like security guard's office on the roof of this mall in Acapulco. And he got caught with all this like stolen shit in his pants and was losing his fucking mind. And so we went back down to the store, and I mean, between the malls, it wasn't even the cops. It was between the mall security guards and the employees. They shook us down for about $400.
Fuck.
Ooh.
And like, it was insane. Like, I was just, this is dumb shit, 17-year-old kid from, nowhere, Nebraska. And, oh God, I've heard about Mexican jails.
Shook down by fucking mall cops. That's amazing.
Yeah, right? And you're just like, you're sitting there the whole time, like, like, should I just call the fucking State Department right now? And yeah, no. So me and one of my other buddies, we ended up having enough money to like bail us out of the situation. And we had like 2 days left in the country. And at that time you had to have like this like $12 or $13 reentry fee or some bullshit. So they basically like took all our cash except for what we had to get back in the country.
We'll take everything you have minus $13 per person or whatever. Yeah.
And it was and it was a Sunday, so all the little like exchange houses that were like up and down the tourist strip were all closed, and the banks were closed. And they gave us, and like we had it was like all, this was in the 90s, so we all had traveler's checks. And so we couldn't go exchange those for pesos, and they gave us probably the worst exchange rate that anybody changing dollars for pesos has ever got.
They just gave you 1-to-1.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. $1 for every peso, and you're like, wait, what? Isn't this the tropics? It was insane, dude. It was so crazy. And then when we left, we ended up, I remember we all had enough money, and we went into some like little like bodega grocery store kind of thing, and we all bought Coronas, and we're like walking down the streets drinking them, and this one cop car just like slowed down and was just sweating the shit out of us. I was like, God damn it. I was like, we're totally out of money.
We can't afford another shakedown in Mexico.
Sorry, we just got shook down by Unit 26 last night, bro.
Right? It's like we all needed to come down here with $1,000 to do what we really wanted.
Let this be a lesson to any listener thinking about going to Mexico. Just bring extra money. If you're planning on doing like stupid shit,
in your shoe. Put it in your shoe.
Right. Don't leave it in the hotel room because they'll fucking steal it from your room. Right. I'm just saying. They'll find it.
Oh, shit.
Shit is out of control down there. So we were going all the way back to the beginning of the podcast. We were talking about Miami and how you say I should change it to don't move to Miami. Everything you hear about Miami is true. And not just Miami, but fucking Florida as a state. There's a reason there's a Florida Man Twitter account that's insanely popular. That you can get away with shit that you cannot get away with anywhere else in Florida.
Well, all I've heard about Miami is from watching Scarface. So is everybody just a fucking Cuban dealer? Is that because that sounds kind of
we get together once a week and we raise our fists in the air, light some things on fire, and you just yell out "Libertad!"
Yeah. You put money into like bill counters or whatever.
There's just one in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
There's definitely buildings in Miami that are actually made of bricks of cocaine and money.
I watched Cocaine Cowboys on Netflix. I know how Miami was fucking built, baby.
Yeah, that's all real. And more, just people eating faces with bath salt. Like, that's real life. We had zombies there and alligators, whatever, fucking roaming the city.
Can I tell you what? I like Florida, bro. Like, when people hate on Florida and like apply these stereotypes, I mean, maybe like inland Florida is kind of like that, but Miami is a nice town. Like, if you go on like the Gulf side, Florida is fucking amazing. Those beaches and shit.
No, listen. Florida is, Miami specifically, is an amazing place to visit.
Yeah.
Go there, go to the beach, have a blast, walk up and down the clubs, and even if you don't go inside, just being in that environment is interesting. There's actually some really great breweries popping up there. There's a life there. There's a great art scene. The Art Basil's there every year. So, I mean, it's a definite amazing destination spot to visit. Don't live there.
I'm planning on retiring in like...
Oh, that's different. Fucking Florida's made for retirement. I'm talking about don't be a 25 to 35-year-old living in Florida.
Yeah, retirement's why it's fucked up for everybody else.
There's no way to make any aspirations work unless you're into hip-hop or dance music. Like, you can make a living out there as a promoter. And then now, recently, the whole beer scene down there is blowing up, so people can make a living off of that.
Yeah.
Like, there's people that make a living off of, like, going to beer releases, buying bottles, and then selling them online.
Wow, really? That's crazy.
Dude, make a living. Not just make extra cash.
Yeah, dude.
Like, live your life on that.
It's insane. Yeah. It's insane.
Can I ask you guys something? Like, because I don't really know. Like, is the whole, like, craft beer, like, sort of more independent kind of beer scene, is that, like, a fairly recent thing, or has that like existed for a long time and I just like don't know about it?
In the overall spectrum of things, it's been nothing. It's been a blink of an eye. But yeah, it's been a couple years in the making for sure, a few years.
Yeah. Okay. So that it. Yeah. So it's not just my
this last like 5, 6, 7 years has been insane. I mean, we went from having 2 years ago. I mean, there were 2,500 breweries in the country like 2.5 years ago. And like, as of all the reporting that everybody's doing, as of last month, it was like 5,050. And then just the Brewers Association has another 2,000 breweries in planning on their books. And that's just the people that have registered as breweries in planning. I mean, there's probably another 1,000 outside of that don't even know what the Brewers Association is and don't know that they can don't
know what a BJCP test is, or
right. Just some apple in his garage. Right. And it's like, there's, I mean, so there's essentially with breweries in planning, I mean, it's like 8,000 or 8,500 breweries in the country now. Which is, I mean, it sounds like a big, scary number, but it's really not.
It's not. It's nothing in the grand scheme of things.
When we look at the wine industry, there's over 10,000 wineries in the country.
Mm-hmm. And beer, I think beer is way more complicated than wine. Oh, fight me.
A million.
Well, wine is probably harder to make money from, right? Because you have to like have a whole fucking vineyard and shit, right? Like, don't most wineries like...
Yeah, but a lot of bottles of wine are expensive, man. Like, people will pay a couple $1,000s for a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're like...
It's worth it.
Yeah, if you're like a in-demand brand or whatever, yeah.
Well, even for those like small, like super boutique, nobody knows who they are wineries. I mean, you can be selling like, a case for, $3 or $4 grand.
Yeah.
With the most you're ever going to get for beer, if you're selling to a distributor... I mean, you're even for really expensive beers, you're talking about $180 for a case of large format bottles.
Cases, how many bottles? Like 8?
Like, if they're big bottles, you usually get 12.
Yeah, for like the bottle that I sent you guys out today, like you can fit 12 of those in a case. Or like champagne size bottles, which are a little bit bigger than this, is 12. But it's like, you're talking you can sell those beers for, $150 to $200 for a case to your distributor. And these wineries are selling bottles for that much. And it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, to go back to kind of elaborate a little bit, because you seemed blown away when I told you people make a living off of beer, like secondary.
I didn't even know that was happening.
Yeah. So they're getting up and they're going to these beer releases and standing in line. So they're putting their work in. It's a legit job. They're going. Some of these breweries require you to stand in line at like 4 a.m. for 3 hours till they open their doors. Go in to get 4 bottles of this beer. The brewery charges you $25 a bottle. And, you drop $100, whatever, you go home with 4 bottles. But then you can go online and sell these bottles at $400 a pop.
Wow.
Jesus. I didn't know it was that inflated.
It's insane, bro. Especially with Cigar City beers. Like, Cigar City has a big problem with that. Like, they had a beer at one point that was worth $900 on the secondary market.
Jesus.
And I find out about this shit because people hit me up like, oh, what's up with this? It's $900. I'm like, we have nothing to do with it. Like, we sold it for $30. They're selling it online for that much.
Wait, so a beer like that, how small is the run that it can be?
That's a big factor in determining the value of that beer. Like, if you made 100 bottles, you can be like, yo, it's only 100 bottles in the world.
Ever.
So people were like, oh shit, I'm gonna drop $300 on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Cigar City or a brewery like that will do runs that small, like bottles?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
for sure.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Part of it's a scale thing, because like sometimes you're just doing stuff to try it out and see what happens.
Sure.
And you don't want to put a shitload of it into production, and then all of a sudden it's like every nerd in the world wants it.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, like, I'm not at all saying that they are doing that on purpose.
Right.
Like, Cigar City isn't doing it like, we're only going to do 20 bottles and sell them at this. Like, that's not at all what I'm saying. It just happens to be like, hey, we were only able to do this much because this is the resources we had. Yep. We had a certain amount of liquid. We put in a certain amount of barrels that we had. Yeah. And this is all we got. And then the nerds take it upon themselves. And I'm a nerd too. I'm not fucking talking shit. I'm a nerd too. Yeah, so I get it. That's the only reason I know all this shit is because I'm a nerd too. So we put value on it, and it goes for all media. It just shows you how beer is an art form similar to music, where people are like yourself, Sam. You're doing art for the world. Yeah. People drink it, and people put the value on it. Like, right. Well, like like vinyl records and shit. Like I almost dropped $400 on a 9 Inch Nails Fragile vinyl before I talked myself out of it. I'm like, nah. So, like, it's the same thing. It's the same concept. I can't get mad at it. Well, it exists everywhere.
What's funny is one year, Justin Clark and I have been buddies for a long time, and his whole extended family lives right around where the Nebraska Brewing Brew Pub is, right? And that's kind of how we met. We would do a Great Nebraska Beer Fest every year, and we started pulling in breweries that we knew from out of state that didn't distribute here. And when we hit the Cigar City guys up, we were like, hey, man, hey, Justin, let's do this. Send us some beer. Cool. And he's like, yeah, cool, man. And there's just a lot of the like special release stuff that I just like, I don't really pay attention to because I don't have time to. And this was forever ago. But they sent us like a whole pallet of 6 barrels for this like festival, which is 20 little slim kegs of beer. And one of them that was on it was a full sixtel of virgin oak Hunahpu.
What?
Yeah, dude. And
oh my god.
And we got it ahead of time and like unloaded it. And I was so busy that week with just brewing and getting ready for the festival that we just didn't know what we got. And a friend of mine that brews in Iowa came up and he goes, hey, I heard you got a keg of that virgin oak Hunahpu. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about, dude.
I don't know what those words mean.
And he was like, from Cigar City. And I was like, dude, they sent us so much beer. I don't even know what it is. And he was like, well, that keg is a really big fucking deal. I was like, cool. And here we are. We got this like keg of the and like at the time that we got it, I mean, once I went home and interneted everything, I figured out that it was probably about the most rare beer in the whole country at that time. And it's like, we just got this like sixth of it in the back. And I'm like, okay.
But look, if there was ever a time to look back at things and look at things like that, for example, you look at that and think how we are putting the value on certain things.
For sure.
Shouldn't we, as a like examine that a little more to the whole economic system in America?
Yeah. Oh, sure.
We need to evaluate all of that. I'm not the person to do it. I don't know shit. I barely made it through high school, so like I don't know any of that. But I think it's worth looking into. Like, people just make up the value of things. Like, this is just a beer that it costs X amount for supplies and to make it and to get it out. And then people just impose this value on it, which is fine. Well, but I think we need to analyze that.
I don't think we've even seen the end of that, because like when we're going back and talking about bottles of wine that are $2,000 and $3,000 a piece, super rare Pappy Van Winkle whiskeys and shit. I think that you're seeing beer being driven into that to some extent. I don't think it's ever
for sure.
I don't think it's ever going to be to the extent that big fancy wines and spirits are, but
well, that Westbrook sells like Pappy barrel aged Mexican cake for like $1,000.
Dude, I saw one of my buddies lives out that way and was out there a couple months ago and posted a photo of the price list, and I just lost my mind. Like,
it's insane.
Yeah, and I don't think beer's ever gonna go completely that high. But, I know that when I was still at Nebraska Brewing, we sold a lot of beer to New York City, and we had one of our, we were really innovators on the whole wine barrel aging thing, and we had one of our Chardonnay barrel aged beers out there, and they got down to the point where they just had 2 or 3 bottles left in the bar, and they started just auctioning it off, and Our owner was out there to do just meet and greets and sales calls and shit. Yeah, I don't even remember. I mean, and this was at a time when at a retail shop anywhere, those were $20 bottles, and they were $50, $60, $75. And he came home and it was still under $100 at a bar, but he was like, God, we sold a bottle of barrel aged Hopgod for $85 or just some ridiculous amount. We were like, cool, too bad we didn't make any more money on that.
Right. I mean, I feel like those people need to give back a little bit to the brewery.
Yeah, and right, and you're sitting there as an assistant brewer going cool, that's what I make in 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. These people need to give back to the brewers, which they do, but they only do it for specialty beers. Right. Okay, oh, I made $5,000. I'm going to use $2,000 of that to buy all your special releases and sell those for 4 times the profit. That's rough, man. Yep. Fucking buy some core beer, support the brand. Yep. Same shit goes for music. Go to a show, buy some merch, buy a shirt.
I was just going to say, there's so many
similarities,
perfect parallels between this beer scene as it is in 2017, the music scene, and honestly the music instrument scene, the guitar business. I feel like maybe, I don't know what it's due to, the internet or something like that, but everything's so accessible now that independent stuff, small, more punk rock kind of operations can kind of come to the forefront, and people are into this more, I mean, it's not even obscure, but just
well, it's 100% the internet, man. We live in the best time ever. Yeah. And we know that the only reason we are confronted with such misery on a daily basis in social media, oh my God, Trump and the P and right. Oh, whatever. It's because of the internet, but that's just, you got to look at the positive side of it. We have access to get our shit out to everyone.
Exactly.
Instantly. Anywhere. You know what I mean? It's a fucking amazing time.
And, honestly, that's why I feel like all these smaller companies, that are making superior stuff in all 3 industries that we're talking about are doing so well, is because people are able to see past just what is fucking marketed or fucking sold to you in a Ralph's or grocery store or whatever, you know what I mean? And to go check out, fucking even the bigger companies are like, what's the company that just bought fucking Ballast Point for like?
That was a liquor company, Constellation Liquors or something.
Constellation
paid like so much fucking money for like
$1 billion.
$1 billion, dude.
For
if you're
for a brewery that started as
Ballast Point,
show.
like give me a break, dude. That's crazy.
Like they started as a homebrew shop, man.
Yeah,
like that's how Ballast Point started.
Wow. Yeah.
Like 12 or 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And,
it's crazy. Beer has definitely gotten up to that standard. I mean, even thinking about not just monetary value, but like the perspective of the fans. Like I've gone to other states representing certain breweries, like Cigar City, where I get treated like a fucking celebrity rock star.
Oh,
right. You're like the cool beer guy. It's like
They're like, holy shit, you're from Cigar City. Come this way. Here's the VIP lounge. All you can eat, all you can drink.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's weird.
What are you saying to me right now?
Yeah.
And people, like, you walk into JABF, for example, Great American Beer Fest, and when you walk in, you look to the left, and there's this giant wall with fucking T-shirts of every brewery. It's like a concert.
Right.
Like when you go to, like, Ozfest, and you see all the bands have all their shirts lined up together, and
that's where you
find a band you like.
Yeah, and, like, you have fans. Like you're saying, Cigar City will make 100 bottles of something. They can sell them for fucking $30 bottle of beer that can later get marked up on the fucking eBay or whatever to $400. Like, that's insane. That means you have like there's fans of breweries, just like
for sure,
or like bands or whatever.
Absolutely. Like I don't know. It's weird because like I go places and know that, and what's funny too is like it's just like being at a show. You know, you like walk in and it's like that dude and his girlfriend that have been standing halfway back the whole show staring at you know, like, and it's great and it's awesome to have it, but it's like it's exactly the same kind of thing. It's just like they've got that, like they're like looking at you and you know that they have a question and want to talk to you.
Oh yeah, they come up to you, they're wearing that shirt that you made.
It's like I forgot
like 4 of,
and you're always just like, please just talk to me because that's why I'm at the Meet the Brewer night.
I'm here to meet you. I paid $50 for this.
Yeah. You go to these Meet the Brewer nights, and it's like, you know, there's like 8 people there and you, and there's like a big picture of you on the flyer, and you're like sitting in the bar, and you're staring at everybody, and you know that the only reason that they're at that bar on a Tuesday night is to talk to you, and like nobody talks to you, and you're like, wait.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Like, what the fuck, man?
It's rough. Like, I've had that, and I'm not even a brewer. Like, it bums me out. Like, I'll have flyers made, like, featuring Eddie of Cigar City or Eddie of Modern Times Beer, and I get there, and I'm like, I don't do shit. I go to bars, and I convince bartenders to bring our beer in.
What's the beer groupie scene like? Are there, like, chicks that are just, like, beer?
Definitely. Oh, definitely, dude.
I don't know.
I have to fight. I look, man. I fight it off all the time, and I'm not trying to be modest. I'm fat and ugly. But the girls are like, "Holy shit, he's the dude from that thing," and they want to. It's the same thing. There's groupies. I have to turn them down. Like, hey, sorry, I'm engaged, taken.
That's
not interested. Sorry.
The only time that I ever really had that happen was this beer festival, and it's a great taste of the Midwest in Madison, Wisconsin. And I will say that it's my all-time number one favorite event to go to over everything, like Firestone Walker Invitational, Great American Beer Fest.
Nice. Okay.
It's killer, dude. It's just like real chill and awesome. They have about 120, 130 breweries that are all Midwestern breweries. And they have like 7,000 people show up to this thing.
Wow.
And you get to a point in the day where it's like all these like just like super old, like nursing home grandma and grandpas like show up. And it's this like 85-year-old lady comes up and is like, oh, I'll take your IPA. And you're like, you're goddamn right you will. Like, you're the best grandma ever. So the first time I ever went to this festival, I had this girl that was like just all day, I know you from somewhere. And it's just like, you know, like, hey, my wife's super cool and I love her. And, you know, and this is just the internal conversation. I'm not even interested. So she keeps coming up all day. And finally I was like, I do know you. And she was like, okay, yeah, from where? And I said, you're from the future too. And the girl just looked at me and fucking walked away And everybody, all 5 of us from the brewery that were standing there, they all just looked at me and they were like, what the fuck just happened? And it's like, well, I didn't know how else to end this.
You're a good man, I'll tell you that.
And somehow I've kept that vibe alive the whole time.
Nice. Well, hey, look, we've been doing this for an hour and 52 minutes.
Oh shit! I believe it. Actually, I'm a little bit lit. Right, it's a little lit right now in Van Nuys.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. That fucking 11.1 barley wine got me lit.
It's sneaking.
Yeah.
These IBUs are fucking creeping up.
Dude, I had someone actually tell me, how many IPAs did you put in that beer?
14.
I've had that told to my face.
You're like poser. Do you call people posers in the beer scene?
I don't.
Not to their face.
I don't. I mean, I did a lot of tour guiding. I used to do the Miami Brew Bus, and I would take people to breweries and be the tour guide for the brewery and stuff like that. So I have a way of I'm numb to the noobs, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I know how to handle them. Like, oh no, it's okay, it's all right.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you guys just do all the beer over here? Why do you have to have tubes passing by into other tanks? Like, why is that a thing? What?
Tubes, bro.
I'm sorry. That's just how it is. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You're right. It should all be done in one tank, all right? I mean, it'd be cheaper.
I'm going to come in. I got to get involved in this scene. I'm going to fucking regulate on motherfuckers. Be like, oh, cool Ninkasi shirt. Like, what's your favorite beer by them? Like, when somebody's wearing a fucking Slayer shirt, like, what's your favorite record? Like, you better answer right, bro, or you're fucking out.
Yeah.
You're gonna get out hipstered out here. Somebody be like, "Oh, Ninkasi? Pfft, I don't even whatever." Where's your shirt from? Broadway, 2nd Street Brewing that I just opened up yesterday, and I got the only can. Like, what's up?
Yeah, I got the first pressing of this fucking American barley wine from the fucking. It says "Merry Christmas" on it, bitch. Like,
that's right. It says from the Riggins, like family.
23. There were 23 bottles of that made.
Oh my god, this is the fucking biggest whale I've had on this show.
Yeah, well, one of them just fucking
Wait, Sacha, they call them whales, right?
I'm like, what? Because that's a fucking $400 piece of memorabilia right there. Is that what it is?
No. Like if it's a hard to find beer, they call them whales because like Moby Dick.
You owe me a fucking guitar.
Yeah, you owe him a whole customized guitar for that one beer you just got.
I don't know if you guys can tell from the typing sound on my keyboard right now, but I'm typing in www.ebay.com. Fucking beer.
Hey, you were supposed to give the other beer to Danny.
Oh, am I? Okay, well, the other one's still in my fridge, so I
do
will.
it. Yeah. I thought I sent you a message about that. Yeah.
I considered doing this podcast live from Ferns with Danny involved.
Oh. That would be so funny.
Can I hang up and we can start tomorrow?
Okay, let's start over. Let's do it again tomorrow. Oh, dude, that bar is so crazy, by the way.
What's that blues bar he bartends at?
No. That's not a blues bar. It's an Irish tavern, and they do a blues night.
Oh, Gallagher's or whatever?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Any bar that has a blues night is pretty much crossed off my fucking list. Let me bunch of lawyers fucking on a Friday night or something. Yeah.
I love Ferns, though, because Ferns to me is the equivalent of Churchill's. It's like this dive shitty bar and like the hood. And every night there's some sketchy shit going down. The cops are outside. I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to go in there and have a shot with Danny.
Wait, do you live in Long Beach, Eddie?
Yeah, dude.
Danny got like beat up while I think he was working too. And he got like jumped while he was bartending there.
No. When was this?
I don't know, like this past year or sometime. It was fairly recently, yeah.
Was it me?
This is what happens at a bar where they have dollar pints of PBR at all times.
Exactly. You're serving pints of PBR and $3 shots of Jameson. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's the 4th Street dives. There's like 3 or 4 bars on 4th Street, and it's all just gangsta.
Right, like that. And like, what's the one next door? Like the Red Room or something like that?
The Red Room. There's the Red Room. There's the V Room.
Blackout in the Red Room!
Each one has its like own little like subculture that like flocks to it. Like Ferns is like the punk one. Red Room's like the rockabilly one, or at least when I lived in Long Beach, this was.
Yeah. V Room is all bikers.
Okay, yeah.
You know where you're not welcome?
Que Sera is like the goth, the fucking lesbian goth place. Yeah. I mean, that's not even like a joke. That's like
it's real life.
Yeah. We don't have that. We don't have that kind of shit out here.
Not in like. Yeah, Long Beach is a fucking cool place in that rent is cheap, and here's the people you're going to deal with on a daily basis. There's some rich people that live down there because it's by the beach. Otherwise, it's fucking hood ass people or gay people, like a big gay community down there.
Oh, there is a big gay community. There's like crosswalks that are, instead of just white lines, it's rainbow lines.
Yeah, which is great. I love any community with a large gay presence is always like.
Yeah, as long as if they're open about it and happy about it, that's awesome.
No, I just, West Hollywood is fucking beautiful as far as I'm concerned. And so you have those people, and then you have like the various like punk rock kind of subcultures. So you have like a big rockabilly scene, bunch of goths, a lot of punks too.
Yeah, a lot of goths. I ran into the goth community actually at Greg from Dillinger's side project, Black Queen, played at some bar in LA, and that was the goth community. I could tell, like trench coats and fucking Jinko pants. I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's where they're hanging. Oh, the Union. That's what it was called. Sorry, the Union.
Okay. One of the cool things here in Nebraska is with like scene shit is like, we don't have enough people, to like divide a bunch of shit up.
Right.
So, like kind of like all the weirdos.
Yeah.
Have always kind of been with weirdos. So like,
yeah,
the hard rock, the punk rock, the metal scene here have always kind of been the same thing. And it's like, even if you're not into it, you're there. I mean, except when you get old like me and, don't go out anymore.
Like all of us, I think we're all in our 30s.
Right? Like here we are, it's a Wednesday night, we're talking to each other on the fucking computers. That was always one of the cool things for me here and growing up is like, I don't think I would be listening to as much different music as I would if I would have grown up in a city that had like a scene.
That's probably true that you should by default, by being a weirdo, you kind of get everything. And that's something that I've noticed about places like Lincoln or even Omaha or, the Flagstaff, Arizonas and the fucking Memphis, Tennessees is that like, if you're going to like a weird fucking metal band, like you're going to show up, there's going to be 20 people at the show and like, there's going to be 3 people from everything that you would think was like its own scene back home in LA. Like,
and it's like, and the cool thing is like, even if you're not really into it, like you get it, you get where people are coming from and you get what people are trying to do. And that's always like, to me, been like a huge blessing being from here. Cause I knew if I grew up in some big city that I'd just be some full on nasty, dirty hesher all the time. And that nothing ever would have changed, like I'm stuck enough on like, down-tuned guitars and, weird time signatures and shit being real slow. I'm stuck enough on that now that it's like, if, I just know that if I would have, been somewhere else and just been able to get fully like locked into that I would have just stayed fully locked into it and not done anything else.
You would have been a musician.
Yeah, right.
Sam, I'm not even kidding you right now. This beer is actually delicious.
Cool, man.
Barley wine is great. I remember like many, many years ago, I went and bought a barley. It was like I think Sierra Nevada made like a barley wine. They did like a seasonal one or whatever.
Bigfoot?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, I mean, this was like well over 10 years ago. But
yeah, oh yeah.
Maybe they still do it every year. I don't know. But
definitely. I've got Bigfoots in my basement right now, going back to like 2000.
And that's like way more bitter than this, right?
It really is. Like when you get it new, it's got a real like hotness and a bite to it for sure. Sure.
And I feel like I've acquired that taste over time. But when I opened this box and saw these bottles, I was just like, oh boy, this is gonna be fucking. It's gonna be heavy, man. But no, this is delicious. I'm like almost done with this whole bottle right now.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, hi, Eddie.
Hi.
You ready? Are you ready to start yet, or what?
Let's start this.
Yeah, when does the podcast start?
Soon.
Okay.
Soon. Patton Oswalt's on his way. He's our surprise guest.
Oh, sweet. I heard I heard he's got some things to
He
say.
definitely likes to talk.
Is he one of those liberal pinko fucking commies or something?
Probably.
Yeah, I hope so, because I can't wait to tell him off.
Yeah. Well, sorry, go ahead. I'm not.
No. So my strong closer was, I want to see if you guys have experienced something similar, but I've had a night in my life when I went to bed drunk. And
what was that like? I've never. Yeah. Huh.
right, I've never had that before.
Sorry.
No, but it was.
I need to. Yeah, I want to hear more.
I thought I was still awake. I've done a lot of psychedelics and out of body experimentation.
Yeah.
And I walked over to the toilet to pee, and then I woke up and I realized I wasn't on a toilet, and I wasn't on my feet, and I was just peeing on the bed, like standing up, and just peeing on the bed.
That's fucked up, dude.
Well,
Why?
all right. Good night.
Have you ever had anything like that?
Well, I'll tell you a story right now. Wait, Eddie, do you do? I mean, is that a problem? Does that keep happening? Or
It's no.
that should be a warning for you, really.
No. No.
I can tell
No,
you're the kind of guy who keeps it together. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. I drink enough water in between.
Yeah. No, I genuinely am not worried about you, but I will tell you a story about the drummer in a band we were on tour with in Europe, who is no longer in this band, and you won't be surprised after I tell you the story. The first night in Europe, we stayed in some, not a squat, but just some like weird basement of a venue or something like that. And everybody's jet lagged and we're drinking heavily or whatever. And this dude, we were in this night, just is the craziest alcoholic you've ever seen. Like, just does not stop drinking. Like, we'll stay up all night alone drinking beer. You know what I mean? Like one of those.
Yeah. You mean like me? Okay, go on.
Staring at a wall, right?
Just no TV, nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm asleep.
Throwing the empty bottles at his dog.
I'm sleeping on the floor in this fucking like German fucking prison basement or whatever. And I'm super jet lagged and I'm like falling asleep. And I hear what sounds like somebody pouring water onto the ground or something. And I'm like, huh. And I sort of roll over and look. And this dude is standing there peeing on a chair in the middle of the room where there's 15 people sleeping in this room or whatever. And he's standing in the middle peeing onto a chair, like a school chair, like a plastic, you know what I mean? Like when you'd have it at your desk or whatever in 6th grade.
Was it me?
And so I wake up and I see this happening and I'm like, I don't know what do I say? This is happening 1 foot away from my head, but I don't even really know this guy yet. So I'm kind of like sitting there kind of waiting for somebody else to notice. And I mean, it erupted this huge fight, but basically.
If it was a friend of yours, you would have been okay with it?
No.
Peeing right by your head?
Yeah. Nope.
I think it was actually right next to this, like, there was a girl in one of the bands, and I think she was, like, the person.
Oh, no. That's like sexual harassment.
Yeah, he could have, like, gone to jail. That's, like, fucking straight up, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, like, every other night of this whole... It erupted in this fist fight or whatever, and nobody slept that night. And every other night of this tour, he would just be so drunk. And, like, you would wake up, and, like, maybe he would just be standing over you, just, like, looking at you, like, all drunk, just kind of rocking.
Oh, no.
Anyway, Eddie... If you're peeing,
that's creepy as fuck.
If you're peeing onto a bed or whatever, just take it easy, bro. Maybe take a nap.
Well, look, no, but here's the thing. Like, I legit, in my mind, what I saw was, I made it to the bathroom and there was a toilet in front of me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. And then it wasn't like I peed for a while. Like the second it started coming out, I woke up and I'm like, fuck, that's not a toilet, and I ran to the room. To the bathroom and, peed the rest of the way there. I gripped my dick like a fucking vice clamp. Like, God damn it, don't pee everywhere.
Wait, so was it like a sleepwalking thing or was it like I'm too drunk to really know where I am?
No, I was already asleep. It was like sleepwalking because I was already in bed. I had tapped out, I'm in bed. I took my clothes off, but I got up to go pee in my mind, and what I did was get up and just pee on the bed instead of making it to the bathroom.
Well, Eddie, man. I'm going to say that's super dark, but I trust you to fucking take control of your life.
I didn't do that. I just went to
Sam,
bed.
What's your super... Yeah, come on, Sam. Get a dark story out of you, bro.
Yeah, To finish on a dark note.
I don't know. I do all sorts of weird shit in my sleep, so I don't even want to start talking about that. Listen, man, I may or may not believe that I was kidnapped by aliens, and so the whole sleep and weird shit happening in your sleep is that's some other podcast.
Well, isn't that every UFO movie is abductions in Nebraska?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. We don't have anything else to do.
Isn't that where Fourth Kind was filmed?
Wait, I don't know what that is.
Dude, that movie is crazy. Oh yeah. Oh man, it's a whole other thing. No, but definitely a lot of alien abduction stories come out of Nebraska area, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't make crop circles in fucking Los Angeles. You got to go out to the fucking cornfield.
You could, but you would be demolishing lots of buildings.
Right.
Don't give a shit about the LA River.
Tell us your story. What is it? Is that it? You were abducted by aliens?
Wait, no,
Did they probe you?
No, I've just always had weird sleep shit and weird dream stuff, and
with aliens,
I don't know how to interpret any of it. And the older I've got, the less scared I've been of all of it. But yeah, it's all fucking crazy all the time. I used to have like the full-on nutty night terrors and stuff, and yeah.
Were you like wake up screaming and shit?
Well, you're technically screaming inside your mind, but your body won't let you do it. Yeah, it's really fucked up. And there's somebody sleeping next to you, and you're like screaming as hard as you can, and apparently not making any noise.
Yeah, no, I had a girlfriend many years ago who would have like these night terrors where just like in the middle of the night you're sound asleep and all of a sudden she just starts screaming, and I'd be like, "The fuck is going on right now?" This is like,
yeah. That's got to be wild, bro.
I used to always wake up when I was still married to my ex-wife. I would wake up and I'd come to and I'd say, "Get the gun."
Oh, Jesus!
Because I thought that there were all these weird things in the house. Yeah.
Get the gun! Shoot me some aliens!
And I'd say, "Wow, that sounds crazy when you say it out loud."
But it's truth. Hey, man. I'm Cuban. Don't get me started on Santeria bullshit. But
yeah,
yes.
I think that's a case against marriage right there. You know,
right?
You know, like, I gotta get out of this. I gotta get out of this. Like, fuck, yeah. I'm still in it.
I mean, probably mostly just marriage to her.
Well, that's what.
Don't do it. I'll send you guys her name in the private message.
Don't ever marry that person. Yeah,
just so you know. Just in case.
Sweet. Oh shit! All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna call this a night. Thank you so much for coming and sitting with me and talking shit for 2 hours. This is officially the longest. This is the longest podcast.
Okay. You're gonna edit this down, right?
It'll be edited right now. We got 2 hours and 12 minutes. It'll be edited down to about 1 hour and 40, I think, because we got to cut out empty spaces or things that I said that don't belong in the world. I'll probably cut those out.
Yeah, people getting abducted by aliens.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. But no, dude, thank you so much. Thank you so much for you guys doing this. It was awesome. We should definitely do another one soon.
Oh yeah.
I had a blast. Sacha, you have a podcast that you're doing now.
That's true, actually. Yeah, I do have a fight song podcast. Me and my buddy Dan Wilburn.
I saw that the other day.
You should check it out. It's fun. It's a good time. We try to make. We're trying to do a weekly episode where we kind of like pit two apples to apples songs together against each other and sort of debate the merits of each. And
what was it? Inner Sandman and Symphony of Destruction? Is that what it was?
Yeah, that one. And then the first one was Smash Mouth Walking on the Sun versus Sugar Ray Fly.
Oh my God.
That got me through a work day.
We coined a new genre of music. It's pre 9/11 rock music.
Oh my God. Oh shit.
Anyway, just awesome. Check it out.
Yeah, where do you check that out? Fight Song Podcast?
Yeah, it's on like I don't know. I have the iPhone. I don't really know much about podcasts, but I have the iPhone podcast app. It's on there.
It's on iTunes, you would think?
Yeah, I would assume so. It's on everything, I think.
Yeah, I found it on Podkicker, so I mean it's easy to find. Fight Song Podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know much about podcasts, but I'm doing one.
Well, it's Dan, like a producer.
Hey, that's where I'm at. I don't know shit. I mean, I just listen to a bunch of other podcasts. I'm like, I could do that.
Listen, all I'm gonna do is give people my address and challenge them to fights in the street.
Yeah,
dude, fucking do it,
at me, bro.
Fucking do it. Set up cameras and just be like, "This is my podcast.
Get at me, bro."
Somebody shows up, you fucking film it, and that's episode 1.
I think that's how all the crop circles in Nebraska are formed. Actually, it's from dudes like
pit fighting
out in cornfields.
By invitation, it's by invitation only.
Right, by invitation fights in cornfields. That's...
super rare, bro. Whales.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So keep a lookout for Sam's adventures by following him on Facebook.
Yeah, Sam Riggins on Facebook or Slayer Sam on Instagram.
Yeah, that way you can keep up to date when the brewery opens and shit gets crazy.
Crazy.
This one is delicious. Definitely hit that dude up. And what was
definitely,
dude, you brought us in Lincoln that one time? Was that your stuff or was that from?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
That shit was really good. You brought us like a whole keg of something.
Yeah, well, I'd met Danny on the internet, just randomly. Like we started kind of following each other. I think he started following me on Instagram, and I was like, "Fucking Danny Walker." I was like, wait, hold on. And then like I pulled his profile up, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "This guy's an Intronaut and like Phobia Records, and like and it was crazy because I knew who he was, and I was like, "Holy shit." And then he like commented on my photos and stuff, and I was like, "Wow, this is fucking awesome."
Drummer extraordinaire, fucking beer sommelier, fucking. He's just a Renaissance man. That Danny Walker.
It was really cool. So I mean, like I do that like when people come through that I know, I make beers for them and just go to hang out, and yeah.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like Yob comes through here all the time, and I'll make those guys beers because those dudes have been really good to us, and I love all those guys like a lot.
Oh yeah,
like,
I love them too. Yeah,
like,
great guys. Yeah,
they're the best and the heaviest shit ever.
Yeah,
but they won't tell you that. They won't say that.
Oh yeah, you can't have that. That's another band you can't have that conversation with because it just doesn't fucking go over. Yeah, it's like with Lars or Dave Lombardo. You can't go up to fucking Mike Scheidt and be like, "Why are you so heavy, bro?
You're fucking genius.
Remember that time you were like heavy?" Here's a Mike Scheidt story for you real quick. Mike Scheidt from Yob. Okay, so my buddy Derek Ridquist, who was the singer in The Faceless, one of his last shows ever, they did South by Southwest, and they were playing like down the block from Yob, who was doing a show over there or whatever. So Derek walks over to the Yob show, watches Yob. It's amazing. After they're playing, he goes up to Mike and he's just like, "Man, like, I just love your fucking band, and like, how do you like? What are you using? Like, I want to know how to get that like heavy like guitar tone that you have or whatever."
Yeah.
And Mike is just like, "My son loves your band, like, and here's my fucking distortion pedal." Rips his Ross distortion pedal off of his pedal board and puts it in Derek's hand. He's just like, "Here you go, bro. Like, that's the fucking sound right there." And he's like all drunk. He's like, "What?" And so anyway, now we get that pedal.
I talked earlier about Lincoln being weird, but like Yob comes through here so much that I've seen Yob here in Lincoln, and this counts Midian, the Midian years.
Oh yeah, sure. I saw Midian a couple times. Yeah.
I've seen between Yob and Midian, I've seen those guys like 8 or 9 times. Fucking awesome. And you're just like, every time they come through, they know everybody in town, and it's just like, it's the coolest shit because you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, like it's Yob.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude.
No, they're fucking amazing. I fucking love that band.
Yeah. Times a billion. Yeah.
Cool, man. Follow, what else? You're in a band, Sasha. What is it? Intronaut. Follow Intronaut.
At Yob.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good.
That Yob band on Instagram.
Hey, you know what we were talking about? Anticipated releases. Intronaut's putting out a record this year.
Are you guys?
Is it?
I didn't hear any of you guys fucking singing the praises of the upcoming Intronaut.
I know. Yeah, you guys are definitely. Look, will I be invited to listen like I was for the last album?
You will actually, yeah.
Because dude, that was awesome. Thank you so much for that. Like, I was in town for fucking, I think it was Thanksgiving or some shit, visiting my family, and like, or was it a funeral? No, it was a funeral, dude. I think it was for my grandfather's funeral.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. I was in town for my grandfather's funeral, and I had one day to hang out, and I hit you guys up, and you're like, come to the studio, we're jamming, and you fucking played the whole album, the last album, and it fucking blew my mind. So it would be great to do that again whenever you guys got some songs down. I'll bring beer. I'll bring beers, bruh.
It's got to start the whole record with that, like, dropped out mix and that whole bit crusher thing again, and then just, like, come in and heavy as fuck. Just forever. Because on the last record, that's like the fucking heaviest shit. Like, you're like, wow, what's this? And then it just like when that fucking drops, you're like losing your mind.
I'm glad you liked it. We were debating before we released the record. We were like, is this too like fucking like, is this like a techno intro right here? Like,
God, it's so good. It's so good.
Sacha, you going to NAMM?
I'm not going to NAMM, although my guitars will be at the Ren and Cuff booth at NAMM, if anybody listening to this is going to NAMM. But Intronaut is actually going to be in India while NAMM is happening. So
I'm releasing my signature model guitar with Ernie Ball over NAMM, so I'll be there.
Oh, sick, bruh.
Sick.
Yeah.
Is it a Fender?
Got humbuckers on the fucking neck.
You have like a flange knob and a fucking like distortion fucking tuning key.
You plug in the head.
Does it pour beer?
Blow your mind.
It brews a sick bottle.
It brews beer.
Yeah, right.
It brews a beer while you're playing. The more you play, the faster, the more notes you hit, the faster it brews the beer, bro.
The more notes of caramel in the fucking beer you have.
It's the Floyd Rose Brewing Tremolo, right? God.
Well, I'm gonna be at NAMM. I'll make everyone come look at your guitars. I promise.
Cool, man. Ren and Cuff. That's sick pedal.
I'll make people come buy them. I'm gonna be raging out there with peeps from Miami, some people from Name, and just people, bands. It should be a good time. But anyway, thanks again, guys. 2.5 hours.
Boom.
We're good. We're good here.
Hey. Yeah, this is a lot of fun, actually.
I had a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, let's do this again for sure.
Hold on. Were we supposed to talk about something while we were doing this?
Beer?
Trump. Let's get a Trump chant going real quick.
I feel like we just got talked about people getting arrested and me getting kidnapped by aliens. Like, wait, what?
We should do a little like Woe Bundy style Trump kind of chant going real quick. Just all hands in. Whoa.
Hashtag P-Otis has been my favorite thing.
We're going to do it.
Yeah, look, man, we're all fucked. We got Trump for 4 years. Let's go make some content. Let's go make some good beer, music.
People are going to need to get drunk. So, yeah.
Yeah, let's get drunk and fucking rebel against the government like we did when we were teenagers in punk rock, bro. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the government being a nice black dude that's well spoken, okay? I need to be able to rebel.
Yeah.
Time to hate the government again, guys. Let's do this.
Sick.
Yeah.
So sick, bro. All right, guys. Let's do this again. All right.
I'm up for whenever, guys. Yeah.
Hey, don't pee on your bed tonight, Eddie.
I'll try not to.
All right.
Don't fucking do it.
Good night, guys.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
Later on.